If you're feeling stuck in the same patterns, as if the person you are doesn't match who you could be, it's time for a change. Change doesn't happen by accident. It's something you create, layer by layer, decision by decision. The version of you that succeeds isn't found, it's built. Too many people wait for the perfect moment to start, but that moment never comes. If you want success, growth, and purpose, you have to become the kind of person who earns them. Rebuilding yourself isn't easy, but staying the same comes at a far greater cost. So choose who you want to become and start now. Just a few moments. You'll learn how to rebuild yourself and become the person that success is truly looking for. The first step? Embrace the power of decision. Every great achievement begins with a single, clear decision. One deliberate choice made with unwavering intent can redefine your life, alter your destiny, and build an empire from the rubble of defeat. Every towering success, every powerful leader, every revolutionary thinker began with this moment, a moment when hesitation was cast aside and the mind locked onto a definite purpose. Take Milton Hershey, for example. Born in 1857, he came from a background of hardship and scarcity. His early life was filled with setbacks, including multiple business failures. But he held on to something far more powerful than talent or luck, an unshakable decision. In a world that offered him little, he declared that he would rise, and he did. That quiet moment of certainty, when he resolved to build something meaningful, marked the beginning of his ascent. It wasn't the chocolate that transformed his destiny. It was the clarity of purpose. Before the factories, before the fortune, there was a man who made a decision to never quit. Hershey understood that change begins when doubt is replaced with conviction. Once your mind locks onto a vision and refuses to retreat, the universe bends to meet that resolve. His story isn't about luck, it's about decision. That's the fire, the turning point, where the ordinary becomes extraordinary. Mr. Hershey's legacy didn't start with success, it started with a choice. And that choice made all the difference. Too many people walk through life waiting for the perfect time, the right conditions, or someone else's permission. They stall, overanalyze, and drift. But no one drifts to greatness, and no one stumbles upon success without first declaring what they want from life and demanding it of themselves. A decision is not a wish, it's not a hope, it's a command issued from within, enforced by discipline, and carried forward by action. That's the true secret. Your power doesn't come from your environment, your education, or your background. Your power comes from your ability to choose boldly, clearly, and without retreat. When your mind is truly made up, life responds. The universe respects decisiveness because it signals the presence of a mind that will not fall. Many people with talent, resources, and opportunity still fail because they lack the courage to decide. They're trapped in cycles of doubt, second-guessing every move, paralyzed by the fear of failure. But failure only has power over the undecided. Once you choose a path with clarity and commit to it with everything you have, failure becomes a stepping stone, not a wall. Commit fully. Don't hold back. Don't hesitate. Burn the ships behind you and leave no room for retreat. Fix your vision in your mind and pursue it with unwavering intention. Nothing is denied to the person who has decided that it will be done. Life rewards the bold. It favors the committed. The moment you truly decide who you will become, you begin to reshape the world around you. The people you meet, the opportunities that arise, the energy you attract, all start to shift. The choice is yours, and that choice, once made with courage and clarity, holds the power to create a future beyond anything you've ever known. Let your decision be your turning point. Let it be the force that sets your greatness in motion. Choose, and never look back. Every significant accomplishment in human history was preceded by trials and setbacks. Greatness is never granted freely. It is earned through fire, shaped in the crucible of difficulty, and proven in the face of defeat. The path is never straight, and it is never easy. It demands resilience, a spirit that cannot be broken by temporary loss, and a vision that survives the storms of failure. William Carter faced bankruptcy more than once. His early ventures collapsed under pressure. His name meant nothing in the business world, and creditors viewed him as a man destined to fade into obscurity. But what separated Mr. Carter from countless others was not intelligence, not funding, and not luck. It was mindset. He refused to see failure as final. Each time he fell, he chose to stand, not with bitterness or despair, but with renewed clarity and sharpened strategy. Where others saw setbacks as stop signs, Mr. Carter saw signals to grow. Each mistake held a lesson. Each closed door revealed a better one waiting. He studied his failures, adapted, and moved forward. He treated adversity as a mentor, not a curse. Slowly, trial after trial, he built the foundation of one of the nation's most powerful retail enterprises. His victories didn't come in spite of failure, they came because of it. Life will test you, not once, but repeatedly, sometimes subtly, sometimes violently. It will challenge your belief in yourself, your endurance, and your dreams. It will ask you again and again if you are willing to continue. Most give up, most retreat. But those who understand the power of resilience do not bow, they transform. Resilience is not the absence of hardship, it is the presence of defiance. It is the refusal to let circumstances dictate your destiny. Resilience turns failure into fuel, doubt into drive, and fear into focus. It is not simply surviving the blow. It is using the impact to push farther, rise higher, and dig deeper. William Carter's story is not about business, it's about belief. It is a blueprint for what happens when a person refuses to quit. It proves that strength does not come from ease, but from endurance. It teaches that suffering can become strategy, and persistence has the power to rewrite fate. Each time you encounter resistance, you are given a choice: retreat or rise, shrink or grow. You are offered the opportunity to become unshakable. The stronger the opposition, the more powerful the growth. There is no easy ascent to greatness. The struggle is the staircase. Let your challenges shape you. Let your pain instruct you. Each disappointment is not the end of your journey, but the forging of your character. No storm lasts forever. No future is final unless you allow it to be. There is strength being built in your perseverance, clarity being born in your chaos, and victory being prepared in your pain. Endurance is the price of greatness. And when you continue despite the pressure, despite the doubt, despite the fear, you declare to the world that you are unbreakable. The triumphs of tomorrow are purchased by the persistence of today. So, embrace your challenges. Welcome the adversity. Let it sharpen your will and strengthen your purpose. Stand up when it hurts. Push forward when it seems impossible. Because in the end, it is not talent, resources, or luck that separates the great from the forgotten. It is resilience. And the one who refuses to give up is the one who ultimately wins. Self-belief is the fuel that powers your journey from vision to reality. Without it, even the most brilliant ideas collapse under the weight of doubt. With it, even the most improbable dreams begin to take form. The world does not give you what you wish for. It responds to who you are, and more importantly, to who you believe yourself to be. Margaret Linfield began her career in a storm of rejection. Her performances were criticized, her appearance scrutinized, and her name forgotten in casting rooms filled with louder voices and longer resumes. She had every reason to give up. The world offered her failure, and failure again. But Margaret held on to something no one could take away: belief. She believed in her talent when no one applauded. She trusted her vision when doors closed in her face. That belief was her anchor. It steadied her during moments of doubt, carried her through years of obscurity, and eventually led her to stages and screens where the world could no longer ignore her. Margaret Linfield became one of the most celebrated actresses of her time, not because she was spared from hardship, but because she refused to let rejection rewrite her identity. This is the secret. Your greatest ally in life is yourself. Not because you are flawless, but because you hold the power to choose what you believe. When you look in the mirror and see someone worthy of success, the world begins to reflect that image. But if you doubt your value, even golden opportunities will seem out of reach. Self-doubt is the invisible wall that stops more dreams than failure ever will. Your mind must become a sanctuary of confidence, a place where belief is protected, nurtured, and spoken aloud. Speak it to yourself daily. I am capable. I am worthy. I am becoming. These are not just words, they are seeds. And what you plant in your mind, you will one day harvest in your life. Self-belief is not arrogance, it is alignment. It is knowing who you are, what you carry, and what you are meant to build. It does not mean pretending you have no fears. It means refusing to let fear make your decisions. It means showing up even when you feel small, because you know that small steps build unstoppable momentum. Margaret Linfield's triumph was not sudden. It was built moment by moment, through inner work and unshakable conviction. And that same power lives in you. The world is waiting, not for perfection, but for truth, for a person who knows who they are and walks boldly in that identity. Affirm your worth. Own your vision. See setbacks not as signs to quit, but as proof that your journey is real. No one climbs without challenge, but those who rise do so on the foundation of belief. So believe, fully, fiercely, unapologetically. Not someday now. Your destiny is shaped not by circumstance, but by certainty. Declare it. Live it. Become it. You are more powerful than you know. And the day you truly believe, that is the day everything begins to change. Having a clear, definite purpose acts like a magnet, pulling you consistently toward your desired destination. It is not merely a goal. It is a guiding force, a deep inner conviction that shapes your choices, fuels your persistence, and empowers your vision. Without it, even the most talented minds can drift aimlessly, exhausted by constant effort with little to show for it. But with it, even ordinary individuals achieve extraordinary results. Thomas Griffin, an industrial titan whose business transformed entire communities, attributed his immense success to one unwavering factor: clarity of purpose. He often said that long before the factories, long before the profits, there was a vision, sharply defined and deeply personal. He knew exactly what he wanted to create and why it mattered. That purpose became his compass. When markets collapsed, competitors retreated, and uncertainty loomed, Griffin stood firm. His purpose was not shaken by external conditions because it was rooted internally. That clarity gave him direction in times of doubt and momentum in times of hardship. While others panicked, Griffin executed. While others guessed, he acted. Purpose eliminated hesitation. Your definite purpose is your personal North Star. It steers your course even in the dark. It tells you where to invest your time, where to place your energy, and what to walk away from. Without it, effort is diluted. With it, every action is aligned. Every challenge becomes part of a larger mission. Your mind stops wandering. Your heart stops hesitating. Mr. Griffin didn't just define his purpose once and move on. He wrote it down. He read it daily. He shared it with his team. He used it as a filter for every decision. His purpose wasn't a phrase, it was a force, one that shaped the way he lived and led. It gave meaning to his work and inspired loyalty in others. Without clarity of purpose, the world will dictate your direction. You will say yes to the wrong things, chase fleeting distractions, and spend your energy reacting instead of building. But with clarity, you become magnetic. People feel your focus. Opportunities align. Energy returns. Define your life's purpose clearly and passionately. Don't settle for vague aspirations. Get specific. What are you here to do? Who do you want to become? What impact do you want to leave behind? Write it down. Speak it aloud. Feel it in your bones. Let it live in your daily rituals. Then act. Let your purpose guide your choices, what you say yes to, what you walk away from, and what you commit to, even when it's difficult. Purpose brings discipline. It makes sacrifice easier because you understand what you're building. It makes your journey tolerable because you know where you're headed. Purposeful living is the foundation of extraordinary achievement. It doesn't promise ease, but it guarantees meaning. It makes the climb worth it. It turns effort into legacy. When you are aligned with a definite purpose, your life becomes cohesive. Your story begins to make sense, and every chapter connects. Don't wait to find your purpose. Decide it. Claim it. The power is within you. The clarity is within reach. And once you define it, nurture it. Protect it. Let it become the standard by which you measure your actions and your progress. Because, in the end, success is not about how fast you move or how much you achieve. It's about how aligned you are with why you started. And the one who walks in purpose walks with power. Let your purpose lead. Let it pull you forward and watch how the world opens in response. Passion is the flame that turns effort into enjoyment and challenges into opportunity. It is the emotional force that breathes life into your purpose and gives meaning to your mission. Without passion, work becomes mechanical. Life becomes a series of tasks to complete rather than a journey to live. But with passion, every step becomes vibrant. Every obstacle becomes a reason to rise higher. Laura Simmons was not born into privilege. She did not inherit her role as a pioneer in education reform. She earned it through fire, through grit, and above all, through passion. From the earliest days of her career, Laura believed that education was the key to transformation, not just for individuals, but for entire societies. Her classrooms were more than places of instruction. They were sanctuaries of hope. Laura dedicated her entire life to revolutionizing the way children were taught. While others followed outdated systems, she created new ones. Where others accepted limitations, she saw opportunities. Her passion was not silent. It was bold, contagious. Parents listened, teachers followed, and children flourished. What made Laura extraordinary was not just her ideas, but the fire behind them. She worked long hours, faced immense resistance, and endured harsh criticism. But she never wavered. Passion gave her stamina. Passion gave her courage. Passion gave her joy in the very effort that might have drained someone else. She didn't burn out. She burned brighter. This is the true gift of passion. It makes work feel like purpose, and purpose feel like joy. It allows you to pursue your vision without the constant weight of fatigue or fear. Passion doesn't eliminate challenges, but it changes how you face them. It transforms struggles into growth and setbacks into stepping stones. Find what ignites your heart. That spark is not random. It is your compass. Pay attention to what excites you, what angers you, what moves you. Within those emotions lies your mission. When you find that thing that stirs your soul, don't tiptoe toward it. Run. Dive in. Give yourself fully. Laura Simmons didn't change education because she wanted recognition. She did it because she could not do it. It was who she was. That level of alignment is powerful. It makes you magnetic. People are drawn to passion. It wakes them up. It reminds them of their own forgotten fire. Let your passion guide you. Let it shape your path. Let it fuel your drive and carry you through setbacks. Let it remind you why you started when the journey gets hard, and let it inspire others to rise with you. Passionate individuals don't simply dream, they create. They build. They transform. They don't wait for permission, they act. And in doing so, they leave a mark that lasts far beyond their time. So, ask yourself what sets your soul on fire? What work would you do even if no one noticed? What cause would you fight for, even in the face of resistance? That is your calling. That is your power. The world does not need more people simply going through the motions. It needs those who are alive with purpose, those who dare to care deeply, those who act boldly from the heart. Passion is not optional. It is essential. It is the difference between merely existing and truly making an impact, between surviving and inspiring. Let your passion be your power. Let it lift you, lead you, and leave the world better than you found it. Every great achiever I've encountered has been a lifelong learner, continually seeking knowledge and wisdom. The most successful people are not always the most gifted by birth, but they are always the most committed to growth. They never reach a point where they say, "I know enough." Instead, they approach each day as a new opportunity to expand, evolve, and deepen their understanding of the world around them. Jonathan Harris, a name not known for wealth or status in his early years, but for an unrelenting curiosity that became his superpower. From humble beginnings, Jonathan pursued learning not as an obligation, but as a passion. He read voraciously, asked bold questions, and sought out mentors who challenged his thinking. This thirst for knowledge eventually led him to groundbreaking scientific discoveries that revolutionized his field. Jonathan's success did not come from shortcuts. It came from the discipline to grow a little every day. He understood a powerful truth. The world changes quickly, and only those who are willing to learn can keep pace. His commitment to learning opened doors that remained invisible to others. Where others saw limitations, Jonathan saw possibilities because he kept learning. Education does not end with a diploma. In fact, it truly begins the moment you leave formal schooling behind. The classroom may give you the tools, but it is life that tests your adaptability, your hunger for growth, and your willingness to keep evolving. Every book you read, every conversation you engage in, and every challenge you reflect upon contributes to your ongoing education. Adopt a mindset of perpetual growth. Treat your mind like a muscle. It grows with use and weakens with neglect. Don't just master your field, explore others. Creativity often springs from the collision of diverse ideas, and when you stretch beyond what you already know, You give yourself the advantage of fresh perspectives. Continuous learning does more than just sharpen your mind. It also attracts opportunity. Employers seek learners. Partners seek innovators. The world opens its doors to those who are prepared, and preparation more often than not comes from being willing to ask, "What else can I learn today?" Jonathan Harris made it a daily practice to learn something new, whether it was a scientific theory, a philosophical principle, or a practical skill. He fed his curiosity consistently, and that consistency, compounded over years, became his competitive edge. His mind was a garden he cultivated daily, and the fruits were undeniable. The greatest advantage you can give yourself in any field, at any stage of life, is the commitment to keep learning. This mindset fosters humility because the more you learn, the more you realize how much there is left to discover. It nurtures resilience because each new skill gives you one more way to adapt. It builds confidence because knowledge creates clarity. So, seek knowledge actively. Read widely. Ask questions without fear. Listen deeply, and reflect often. The path of lifelong learning is not linear, but it is always rewarding. It turns average into exceptional and potential into mastery. Your mind is your most valuable asset. Protect it. Invest in it. Feed it daily. The world belongs to those who never stop growing. Let your life be a living testament to the power of learning. Because when you commit to being a student forever, you unlock the ability to be a leader anywhere. Keep learning. The journey has only just begun. Your mental attitude is your greatest asset. It determines your reality. It's the lens through which you interpret every event, the inner voice that either strengthens or sabotages your journey. While you cannot control all of life's circumstances, you can always choose your response to them. And that choice, made repeatedly, ultimately defines the quality of your life. Helen Keller, struck deaf and blind by illness as a young child, faced a world of silence and darkness. Yet she refused to be limited by her physical condition. She chose to fight, to learn, and to rise above her circumstances. Let her story remind you that no matter the challenges you face, your attitude is what will determine your ability to break through them. Through the guidance of her teacher and Sullivan, and her own indomitable spirit, Helen Keller chose optimism over despair. Her positive mental attitude became the foundation upon which she built an extraordinary life. Despite the immense challenges she faced, Helen did not allow them to diminish her ambition. She became the first deaf-blind person to earn a college degree, published books that inspired millions, and advocated tirelessly for the rights of others. Her mind remained open, curious, and resilient. She proved that attitude, not adversity, shapes one's future. A positive attitude opens doors where others see only walls. It attracts opportunities, builds lasting relationships, and creates a magnetic presence that inspires everyone around you. Negativity repels progress, while positivity draws it in. People want to work with, support, and elevate those who uplift them. Your attitude determines whether you are seen as a burden or a beacon. Cultivating a positive mindset is not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing hope, even when circumstances suggest otherwise. It's about seeking solutions when faced with setbacks and finding strength in struggle. It means choosing gratitude over grievance, even when life feels unfair. Helen Keller once said, "Although the world is full of suffering, it is also full of the overcoming of it." That statement embodies the essence of a powerful attitude. She did not deny hardship. She transcended it. In doing so, she reminded us that the human spirit, when aligned with positivity, is unstoppable. You must cultivate positivity daily. It is a discipline as vital as any skill. Begin with gratitude, not as a fleeting thought, but as a practice. Each morning, name 3 things you are thankful for. In moments of stress, pause and ask, "What can I learn from this?" Surround yourself with those who uplift you. Consume content that inspires you, and speak words that reinforce your strength. By fostering this internal climate of positivity, you create an environment where success and happiness naturally flourish. Your energy becomes more focused, your creativity expands, and your resilience deepens. You no longer react blindly to circumstances. You respond intentionally, and in that response, you claim your power. Remember, your attitude shapes your destiny more profoundly than external conditions ever will. You can rise in spite of chaos. You can grow in spite of limitations. You can thrive, not because everything is easy, but because your mind is strong enough to turn obstacles into stepping stones. The world does not owe you ease, but it does respond to your mindset. A strong, positive attitude doesn't just change how you experience life, it changes what life brings to you. So, choose positivity, not once, but every day. Let it be the armor you wear into uncertainty. Let it be the fire that keeps you moving forward. Let it be the legacy you leave behind, just as Helen Keller did. Because, in the end, it is not what happens to you that defines your story, but how you choose to face it. And with the right attitude, there is nothing you cannot overcome. Embracing adaptability for success. Change is inevitable. Success favors those who adapt swiftly and wisely. The most enduring individuals in history have not been the strongest or the most intelligent, but the ones most responsive to change. The world moves fast, economies shift, technologies evolve, and trends fade. The question is never whether change will come, it is how you will respond when it does. Joseph Montgomery, a renowned businessman whose career spanned decades, once shared with me how adaptability saved his enterprise during a period of economic collapse. While many clung to outdated strategies, hoping the storm would pass, Joseph made a different choice. He didn't resist change, he studied it, anticipated it, and moved with it. When others faltered, he pivoted. When others closed their doors, he opened new ones. That mindset transformed crisis into opportunity. Adaptability is not simply about survival, it is about transformation. It is the mindset that asks, what is possible now, instead of clinging to what once worked. Joseph's ability to remain calm, observant, and flexible gave him a decisive edge. He didn't waste time mourning the past. He invested in the future. As markets crumbled, he restructured, rebranded, and relaunched. His company emerged stronger, leaner, and more relevant than ever before. To adapt is to lead. It means staying open to new ideas, new technologies, and new methods. It requires humility, the ability to admit when something is no longer working. It demands courage, the willingness to try something new, even at the risk of failure. And most of all, it requires speed. Those who hesitate often miss their moment. Flexibility is a powerful virtue. The rigid break, the flexible endure. When you train your mind to expect change, you stop fearing it. You stop resisting it. Instead, you begin to see it as a natural part of growth. You harness it as a source of momentum. Joseph Montgomery wasn't the biggest player in his industry, but he became one of the most influential because he refused to be stagnant. He led his team with vision, not nostalgia. He challenged them to innovate, to question everything, and to seek better ways forward. That culture of adaptability became his greatest asset. You must build the same within yourself. Stay open-minded. Be willing to shift your strategy. Learn continuously. Observe patterns. Be quick to respond to evolving circumstances. The faster you adapt, the more opportunities you unlock. The more you resist, the more you suffer. Adaptability doesn't mean abandoning your core values. It means finding new ways to express them. It doesn't mean giving up on your goals. It means being flexible about the path you take to reach them. The destination remains, only the route evolves. Those who adapt survive, but those who embrace change enthusiastically, who see it as a gift, not a curse, flourish. They rise above their competitors, stay ahead of the curve, and reinvent themselves as often as needed, becoming not just relevant, but remarkable. So, train your mind to move with change, not against it. Let go of the fear of the unknown and replace it with curiosity. With every shift in your environment comes a new opportunity to grow, to lead, and to succeed on a higher level. The future belongs to the adaptable, to those who understand that success is not built on static foundations, but on flexible structures that bend, adjust, and evolve. Be like Joseph Montgomery. See change before it arrives. Move quickly, act wisely, and never stop evolving. Because in the ever-changing landscape of life and business, the ability to adapt isn't just an advantage, it's everything. True success is deeply tied to the value you bring to others. It's not simply about accumulation, achievement, or recognition. It's about impact. The most fulfilled individuals are not those who take the most, but those who give the most. They understand that real prosperity is rooted in service. Andrew Powell, a philanthropist and entrepreneur of rare distinction, often said that his wealth and influence were merely byproducts of a life dedicated to others. From humble beginnings, Andrew built a thriving enterprise, but his focus was never solely on profit. He developed community programs and initiatives, but Andrew's approach to success was rooted in contribution. He taught that serving others creates a cycle of abundance and fulfillment. When you make it your goal to improve the lives of those around you, doors open that money alone could never unlock. Loyalty deepens, reputation expands, and satisfaction grows beyond measure. Andrew lived by one principle: leave everyone you meet better than you found them. This wasn't just philosophy, it was practice, and it changed everything. In meetings, he listened fully. In decisions, he considered the long term. In leadership, communal impact is everything. It's not just about what you achieve, but how you lift others along the way. Great leaders, like Andrew Powell, understand this. He emphasized empathy and encouragement, not as signs of weakness, but as sources of strength. His commitment to service didn't dilute his ambition, it magnified it. His employees didn't work just for a paycheck, they worked for a mission. His customers didn't just buy products, they supported a purpose. This is the kind of leadership that leaves a mark. When your personal ambitions align with the greater good, your efforts become more meaningful and your legacy more enduring. Success achieved at the expense of others is fleeting. Success built through contribution is everlasting. You don't need to be wealthy or powerful to begin serving. Service begins with intention. It lives in simple acts: listening deeply, offering help without being asked, mentoring someone in need, giving without expecting anything in return. These small gestures ripple outward and create real impact. Service strengthens character. It teaches humility. It reminds you that the world is larger than your goals and that your greatest strengths are meant to be shared. As you serve others, you refine your own sense of purpose. You begin to see your talents, resources, and energy as tools to uplift those around you. Service also builds meaningful relationships. People remember those who cared, who helped, who showed up when it mattered. The bonds created through genuine service are unbreakable. They carry you forward in ways that ambition alone never could. Andrew Powell never saw service as charity. He saw it as responsibility. Through that lens, he built an empire that didn't just generate wealth, but changed lives. His story reminds us that the pursuit of greatness and the path of service are not opposing forces. In fact, they are one and the same. So, ask yourself daily, who can I serve today? How can my actions, no matter how small, make someone's life better? When you adopt this mindset, your world shifts. Challenges become opportunities to contribute. Success becomes a shared journey, not a solitary pursuit. True fulfillment is found not in what you gain, but in what you give. The world rewards those who give with open hands and full hearts. And the most powerful success is the kind that lifts others as it rises. Let your life be a story of service. Let your legacy be one of impact. Because in the end, those who give the most grow the most. Through service, you don't just build success, you build significance. Your potential is limitless. Reflect now on your dreams. Define clearly what success means to you, and commit fully to the journey of rebuilding yourself. Start immediately. Take deliberate action every day toward your goals. Remember, greatness awaits those who pursue it with courage, resilience, and relentless optimism. Your journey begins today. Rise, rebuild, redefine your life. The power is yours. Take it and create your extraordinary future. So, there you have it. Success isn't just about what you achieve, it's about who you lift along the way. The journey to greatness starts with service, with giving, and with building others up as you rise. Take action today, embrace the power of service, and create a legacy that lasts. If you found this message inspiring, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more motivational content. Drop a comment below. Let me know how you plan to serve and make a difference. Remember, greatness is just one choice away, and that choice starts with you. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep rising, keep rebuilding, and keep redefining your life.